Ivy and I were each other's first love. We dated for 4 years and have been married for 3. When she said she was afraid of childbirth pain and wanted to focus on her career, I immediately got a vasectomy. She claimed to love my cooking, so I quit my job to become a house husband, a role I've maintained for 3 years. But one day while cleaning, I found her prenatal checkup report. My first thought was there must be some mistake. I'd been sterilized. How could my wife be pregnant? The hospital must have mixed up the results. Then I remembered Ivy's recent loss of appetite and those mornings she'd been retching. I'd assumed work stress caused it and prepared herbal tonics, which she never touched. The report showed 2 months of pregnancy, yet we hadn't been intimate in nearly half a year. Anxiety clawed at me as I forced calm. The report came from City Central Hospital, where my friend Jack worked as a resident physician. Before I could message him, his text popped up. "John, saw your wife at OB/GYN. She's waiting. Why aren't you with her?" The attached photo clearly showed Ivy, black off-shoulder blouse, chestnut waves cascading down her fitted brown dress, poised and radiant in the crowded hallway. The snapshot captured her gazing expectantly toward the entrance, as if awaiting someone. No wonder Jack misunderstood. I sent a non-committal reply and drove to the hospital, white-knuckling the steering wheel despite the crisp autumn chill. Downtown traffic crawled through 5 consecutive red lights, each delay eroding my composure. Was the universe warning me? Familiar with the hospital from accompanying her parents, I took the stairs. There she stood bathed in afternoon light with another man, though not embracing. Their proximity screamed intimacy. The man's height emphasized her delicate frame as they leaned into each other's space. I opened our chat. "Me. Forgot your lunchbox with yam cake. Good for digestion. Should I bring it to your office?" No response. Typical. She'd either reply with a meme when pleased or ignore me completely. 3 call attempts later, she answered breathlessly. "John? Keeping my voice even. You forgot lunch. Should I deliver it to your office? You sound, where are you? Funny you ask. I'm actually at City Central. Think I see you? Turn around." She froze, fingers digging into her companion's arm as panic flashed across her face. "Just kidding," I forced out, watching from the opposite building. Her shoulders slumped in visible relief as she melted into the man's embrace. Before hanging up, I caught her murmur, "Sorry about that. Our housekeeper's so clingy." I turned my head away, curling my fingers until the phone dug into my palm. My breathing turned ragged, heartbeat stuttering arrhythmically. It took 30 minutes of leaning against the wall before the tremors subsided. I don't remember how I staggered out of the municipal hospital at noon, renowned for its obstetrics department. The place bustled with couples booking prenatal packages months in advance. Passing the nurse's station, I glimpsed entwined pairs whispering sweet nothings, including Ivy and that man. My thoughts drifted to the winter after our wedding. At her parents' house, I'd seen a swaddled infant smiling beatifically with crystalline eyes untainted by the world. "Don't you like children?" I'd asked impulsively. "They're like little angels." "Angels?" Ivy had scoffed. "More like tiny demons. Money pits from birth, formula, diapers, school district housing. Even if money weren't an issue. The mental labor," her nose wrinkled. "Sleepless nights would drive me mad. No, children have no place in my life." Later, she'd mentioned how female sterilization caused health complications, casually suggesting I consider vasectomy instead. Back then, I'd have carved out my still beating heart if she'd asked. The haze persisted until evening when she returned, not from work. I suspected. The cloying sweetness of her long-abandoned designer perfume announced her arrival. She'd always derided that fragrance as juvenile and unbecoming of professional women. Moonlight silvered the unlit apartment. She startled upon seeing me smoking on the balcony. "John, we agreed no smoking indoors." Her voice sharpened. "And where's dinner? What's with the theatrics?" No theatrics. We need to talk. After hours of mental preparation, I crushed the cigarette against my palm. The burn barely registered. Her tone softened when I remained silent. Did something happen to my parents at the hospital? Their stubbornness about chronic illnesses. I barked a laugh. What if it were me? You look fine. Her smile strained. You're not the type to dwell on things. City lights kaleidoscoped beyond the window. Suddenly her perfume overwhelmed me. Warm curves pressing close as she breathed. I had my annual physical today. Forgot your lunch by accident. Clean bill of health. Though. No. I pushed her away, fumbling for my phone. The cold screen illuminated as my mechanic roughened finger tapped a voice message from my high school classmate, now an OBGYN. Your wife's prenatal panel shows low hemoglobin. Recommend iron supplements and micronutrient testing. Untreated anemia could cause fetal growth restrictions. Ivy slammed her palm over the speaker. What's this? Accusing me of cheating? Did garage gossip rot your brain? I work myself to the bone supporting us while you tinker with cars. This is how you repay me? Silent. I slid the lab report forward. Her name glared from the header. Her eyes widened, shock. Then guilt. The truth hung between us like a guillotine blade. Crash. She snatched the paper and stormed into the bedroom. Not anger, shame. I knew her tells. 30 minutes later, she erupted like shattered glass, hurling books and decor. Yes, I'm pregnant. Not yours. I never wanted your pathetic version of domesticity, just parental appeasement. Everyone mocks me for keeping a trophy husband. He's everything you're not. Stable career. Functional family. Capable of real commitment. Her gaze met mine, glittering with frost. John, this charade, I'm bored with this. Ivy composed herself, taking a deep breath as if liberated. I meant to tell you later when the timing felt right. Since you found out anyway, we can either make this work or let's divorce. I interrupted softly. What? Ivy froze. Let's divorce. I repeated. I don't want the house or cars. She stared at my ruthless efficiency. My casual delivery of those 3 life-altering words making them sound like breakfast chatter. After prolonged silence, she laughed bitterly. Trying to play the magnanimous martyr? Think I'll feel guilty? Forget it. You'll get every cent you're owed. Just don't, her voice hardened. Don't come crawling back later like some clingy ex. That's just pathetic. Cruelty came naturally to her. Our first fight left me bedridden for days with liver chi stagnation. I never understood how those venomous words flowed so easily. The divorce papers. I nodded at the documents. Voice steady. Ivy's composure cracked. Her earlier outburst now making her the picture of marital collapse. Snatching the papers. She hissed, you plan this? Civil Affairs Bureau at 9 tomorrow. Afternoon appointment. I added fuel to the fire. Her pen wavered before signing. Well played. John. Well played. Her laughter bordered on hysterics as shattering glass echoed from the bedroom. On the balcony, cigarette glow punctuated the pre-dawn darkness. My phone held photos of Ivy with him, Michael. Her college sweetheart. We'd been high school classmates. When the new transfer student arrived senior year, our teacher assigned me to show her around. Soon the whole school buzzed about the aloof beauty who only softened around me. That fragile tenderness captured my teenage heart. Years later, I found her drunk and weeping after her breakup. No one wants me, she'd slurred, clinging to me in dark streets. Could you maybe care about me? Even a little? Her tears broke me. I changed college applications behind my parents' back to follow her. We married after graduation. I became the perfect husband. When she praised my cooking, I quit my engineering job to be a homemaker. When she feared childbirth pain, I got a vasectomy. 3 years of devotion earned me I'm bored with this. Dawn found me still standing there. Parental texts flooded in, mom and dad demanding I visit. Pocketing my phone, I sighed. Time to go home and claim my inheritance. Dad's wrench whistled through the air as he berated me. 3 years wasted. Done playing house. I was sick. Dad. Needed time. Sick. His bushy mustache twitched. What illness makes you ghost your family? Scared you die a lovesick fool abroad. The retired mechanic's grip remained steel. We raised you tough to build character, not to embrace poverty. Surviving your idiocy qualifies as a medical miracle. Mom eventually mediated. Our estrangement began when I changed colleges, though they tolerated it because I'd attended a top-tier engineering school. Before grad school, I'd filed patents as Tsinghua Star alumnus. The Wilson Group started with lithium batteries before pioneering electric vehicles. While I studied abroad, they IPO'd overseas. Now their empire spanned multiple industries through inheritance I'd walked away from for love. From this perspective, I guess I could be considered a trust fund kid. Staring at my bank balance, I fell into deep contemplation. How did I end up living so pathetically? Eventually, my father summoned me back to the family mansion, sighing, "If you hadn't returned, that good-for-nothing Michael from the second branch would have taken your position." Michael? Where did he pop out from? The name felt vaguely familiar. My mother served me soup, the son your uncle adopted from distant relatives years ago. They planted him in the company ages ago. Now he's scheming his way to general manager. Technically, he's your cousin. My father scoffed, pinching his thumb and forefinger. That brat's nothing but a reckless playboy with small ambitions. Can't handle real responsibility. He turned to me. You've messed around too long. Holding on to power's harder than seizing it. If you get outmaneuvered, don't come crying. The Wilson Group needs fresh blood. Old methods don't cut it anymore. Grabbing his ancestral wrench, I vowed, don't worry. Dad, every screw that's mine, I'll wrench back. My parents exchanged glances that clearly said, this account's been permanently banned. Transferred to a subsidiary handling new rail transit projects. I dove into expanding overseas markets. Controlling companies requires less equity than people think. Cross-holdings do the trick, especially with Dad's capital backing me. Busyness became my emotional anesthesia. Letting go of Ivy once felt impossible, but work left little room for memories. She never blocked me. Her social media flooded with curated perfection, gourmet meals, shopping sprees, gym selfies, even hand-holding shots with some guy. Her pinned post declared, better 3 years ahead than the last. Eventually, all platforms became business tools. Only during late-night balcony sessions, gazing at city lights below, would I mourn misspent youth. Initially, my parents spied from the attic, terrified I'd jump. Mom fretted, is our son relapsing? Dad snorted, jumped hopscotch as a kid. Jumps buildings as adult, consistency matters. They debated survival rates from second-story falls before storming off angrily. Re-encountering Ivy happened sooner than expected at our high school reunion, where Michael also appeared. Yesterday, Dad raged about Michael's $1 million bidding error. The organizer booked a 5-star hotel ballroom, arriving with our class president. We trailed behind Ivy, clinging to Michael's arm. Gone was her icy corporate persona. She glowed with girlish charm. Slight baby bump visible under flowy fabric. The president whispered excitedly. Ivy and Michael reunited. Who knew that average Joe with pretty boy looks would become Wilson Group's golden boy? Hey, you're both Wilsons, related? Never met. I shrugged. Been roasting in Africa on assignment till next month's HQ transfer. The president pouted. Was hoping for insider tea. R&D says some greenhorn directors getting parachuted in. He sighed dramatically. Must be nice inheriting empires. Tell that to my sun-baked skin from construction sites. At least market share rebounds silenced the boardroom vultures. Ahead, Ivy nuzzled Michael's ear, radiating smug contentment. This unfamiliar version of her stunned me, the woman who'd rarely smiled at me, whose replies stayed clipped. Perhaps her warmth simply wasn't meant for me. Congratulations on the wedding. Ivy, someone blurted. My chest tightened. We're not married yet. Ivy quickly corrected, fingers interlacing with Michael's. Just together. I froze. When Ivy and I quietly got our marriage license back then, I never expected she'd keep her marital status under wraps, maintaining a single persona at the company all this time. The class monitor whispered in my ear, John, we don't encourage knocking girls up before marriage. Getting someone pregnant without commitment makes me seriously question Michael's character. I nodded solemnly. His moral compass might be lower than we thought. As we entered the banquet hall, the crowd erupted at the sight of Ivy, our popular class belle. Wow, Ivy, you're glowing. Time's been so unfair. You turned into a haggard housewife while your hands still look like they've never done a day's work. Someone exclaimed. But you and Michael finally made it. We thought your high school breakup was the end. What a twist of fate. Michael tightened his arm around Ivy, his custom Rolex glinting. When two hearts belong together, no obstacle can keep them apart. The crowd swooned at his romantic declaration. Her high school best friend chimed in. Michael, Ivy's the complete package, corporate queen and domestic goddess. We thought her workaholic ways meant messy living, but her homemade lunches put five-star chefs to shame. You're lucky to have her. Other classmates piled on flattery. Rumor has it the Wilson Group's getting a new director next month. Could it be you? Such remarkable success at your age. Michael's smile stiffened. He sipped his tea without comment. John, you actually came. The shout echoed as I entered. Ivy's gaze locked onto me through the crowd, her body pressing closer to Michael's designer suit in silent triumph, proof she'd upgraded. I ignored her posturing, casually chatting with an underclassman instead. Her smile curdled like spoiled milk. The class monitor tried rescuing me. John's our MIT genius. International firms offered him seven-figure packages. I read his groundbreaking paper on renewable energy tech recently. But Michael adjusted his gold-rimmed glasses, oozing mock concern. Those pay-to-publish journals don't count. Pathetic how insecure people flaunt non-existent achievements. Their tag-team humiliation painted me as worthless trash. Ivy stared coldly, erasing 3 years of shared history. Admitted John. She sneered. Too ashamed to show up these years. Let me guess, auto shop manager now? That ill-fitting suit screams discount rack. Snickers rippled through the room, biting back bone-deep hurt. I smirked. You're right. I've been terrible at judging character. My eyes locked on Michael. But burning bridges leaves you stranded someday. He leaned in, breath hot with malice. Know your place. Gutter rat. You'll never stand where I do. As Ivy distributed Hermes embossed wedding invites, the crowd buzzed about their 5-star hotel venue. 6-figure weddings. Only the Wilsons could pull this off. When she accidentally ran out before reaching me, I lounged on the sofa watching her performance. Oh dear. She fluttered false dismay. We can't squeeze in more guests. Don't bother with a gift. John, we know money's tight for you. Her eyes glittered with vicious triumph. The girl I once loved, now a stranger dripping in designer venom. Still want my wedding gift? Ivy was naturally beautiful, with delicate features and a fragile demeanor. Her considerate apology stirred protective instincts among male classmates, who immediately defended her. No invitation? No big deal. It's not like you intentionally excluded anyone. Besides, John hasn't attended reunions for years. It's understandable she forgot about you. No need to get angry. Before I could utter a word, I'd already been cast as the unreasonable villain. Within this single hour, the false accusations piled high enough to reach the heavens. Fine, I said sincerely. Congratulations, Ivy. Her smile froze, fists clenching until manicured nails dug into her palms. The hotel manager approached our group leader, announcing, Sir, tonight's bill has been settled by Mr. Wilson. Here's your deposit refund. The group leader gaped at me. I waved the manager away, noting his deferential bow. What's this about? The leader asked. Small gesture. This hotel partners with my company. Half a minute later, the leader brandished the receipt on stage. John's covering everything tonight. Eat and drink your fill. Don't hold back. Normally such announcements drew cheers. Instead, uneasy silence fell. Faces paled. Eyes darted. Post-event, the parking lot migration began. Ivy tensed as our paths converged. Why are you following us? Going home. I shrugged. What else? She sneered, gesturing toward the garage's far corner. Don't tell me that Rolls-Royce is yours. Only 2 vehicles remained, a Phantom and a BMW. You guessed it. Michael froze mid-step, eyes locking on the license plate. As I approached, the driver leapt out. Young master, had we known you were returning today? Enough. I massaged my temples. Let's go. The driver persisted. Your parents insist you avoid public appearances in outdated clothes. They say it's embarrassing. Typical parental concern. Noticing Michael, the driver feigned surprise. Master Michael, shall I ask if young master wishes to drop you at Hillside? Hillside, shorthand for the luxury villa district. I glanced at Michael. Mock concerned, foolish brother. Excluding family from your wedding? What if the banquet gets canceled? Such carelessness for life's milestone. Impossible. He recoiled. I've been here 2 years. No brother exists. Absence of proof isn't proof of absence. The roll's distinctive 88888 plates glinted. As we passed Ivy, I lowered the window. Hope you won't regret forgetting my invitation. The rearview mirror showed her trembling lips. Michael stood rooted, muttering, can't be, must be mistaken. Wedding day arrived with all Wilson relatives present. My father had lamented late into last night. Since Michael took over, 3 suppliers defected. Sales dropped 10%. R&D leads are quitting. How dare this adopted branch family member throw lavish parties? The pregnant bride tarnishes our century-old reputation. I'd sipped my tea. Let the board terminate him next meeting. Let madness precede downfall. Unbeknownst to Michael, I'd recently become a major Wilson Group shareholder. Combined with my parents' stakes, we held absolute control. Today's wedding gathered all executives. Michael's blatant power play. As father said, the branch family's practically grabbing the corporate seal. My cousin, who I'm close with, video called me, bro. Where are you? Why aren't you here yet? The invitation said the banquet starts at 8 p.m., but it's already 8:30 and nothing's happening. I replied leisurely. My bad. They didn't invite me. Through the screen, I could see her cringing for Michael. If you're not here, who dares start? Everyone's waiting for your grand entrance to see who's bold enough to make this sudden appearance. From her camera angle, my dad sat at the central front table, with the second most prominent seat still empty. The wedding venue was undeniably lavish. The MC on stage was sweating bullets, desperately filling time with performances while repeatedly asking Michael's parents when they'd begin. Emily and Robert maintained strained smiles. Knowing full well this marriage was their daughter's ticket upward, they had no real say here. Ivy, visibly pregnant, tugged at Michael's sleeve. Michael, maybe we should start? Already irritated, Michael snapped under his breath. We wait. Even if it's half an hour late. We wait. The Wilson Group's actual decision-maker isn't here yet. If I don't wait today, I'll be out of power tomorrow. Ivy pouted. You're overreacting. Michael's face darkened. You're too stupid to understand the power plays here. If I can secure his support, I'll climb to the top once the old guard retires. Ivy, without this baby, you'd never have made it into the Wilson family. Humiliated, Ivy finally muttered. Who knows if we actually offended this mystery person? They're ruining my wedding. Nearby, my dad pretended concern while secretly gloating. Robert, still can't reach him? My cousin spun around. Got through. He said he never received any invitation or notice about Michael's wedding today. She pointedly avoided calling Michael's second brother. Must have been an oversight by the staff. We'll welcome him personally if he comes. Michael immediately vowed. We'll send a car? Ivy stood awkwardly in her ornate gown. Pregnancy weight evident. When my cousin offered to have a driver pick me up, I declined. I fixed my hair and changed into a new custom suit. The Vacheron Constantin watch and Montblanc cufflinks were gifts from Mom during SKP's anniversary sale. Ironically, Ivy once gave me cufflinks too, last Valentine's Day. They'd been freebies with a men's suit purchase. Satisfied I wouldn't embarrass my parents, I entered the hotel's gilded lobby. My cousin asked me to wait while she fetched me, but Ivy's parents intercepted first. My former in-laws' faces shifted like Sichuan opera masks, having finally rid themselves of their poor ex-son-in-law. Only to see him at their daughter's wealthy new wedding, their fury erupted. John, why are you here? You've already made everyone miss the auspicious hour. Robert snarled. Are you here to sabotage this? Ivy did nothing wrong. You two parted amicably. Emily chimed in. Leave. We know you're jealous she upgraded. Her new husband's richer. Better born. I smiled. But didn't you beg me to come? Robert barked a laugh. Leave now and we'll wire you $10,000. Consider it compensation. $10,000 for a trip? Not bad. I shrugged. I've already eaten anyway. Let the banquet rot. Mom. Dad. Why are you arguing? Robert says the new director's here. Ivy's voice cut through as she hurried over. Makeup streaked with sweat. Spotting me. Her excitement curdled. You? The family's screeching grated my nerves. I turned to leave when my cousin's voice echoed through the hall. Yo. Little Director Wilson. The banquet's dying without you. The Johnsons initially brightened, then paled when they realized I was the only one present. Cold sweat drenched them. Bro. Any later, and Uncle and Michael would have had aneurysms. My cousin chuckled, arriving breathless. Though Michael's powerless now. At 8:30 in the morning, someone anonymously reported his dad for embezzlement. Solid evidence that could jail him for years. They're desperately sucking up to your dad, and you now. The timing was deliciously cruel. Had she known I orchestrated it, she'd applaud. With announcements made and guests seated, this wedding had become a fire pit, no escape. I glanced at the shell-shocked Johnsons. Shall we? John, don't you work at an auto repair shop? Ivy's eyes reflected my triumphant demeanor, filled with terror and disbelief. I slightly furrowed my brows. To be precise, a car dealership. Emily staggered backward before collapsing. You're the Wilson Group chairman. The next moment, I figured since I was already here, I might as well make an appearance. The banquet hall glittered with golden opulence. Blood-red roses flanking the stage as champagne towers stood ready. When I entered, the room fell silent. Waitstaff parted like the Red Sea. Then chaos erupted like water hitting boiling oil. Business partners returning from Africa immediately rose to shake my hand, followed by waves of sycophantic cheers. Young Mr. Wilson. John. The Wilson heir. This wedding had become a corporate battlefield. At the head table, Michael froze mid-motion when seeing me, face twisting towards second uncle. Father, you never told me our family had this imposter. Second uncle silenced him with a glare, earlier arrogance vanishing as he addressed me with feigned warmth. John. Michael mishandled the invitations. Youthful oversight. I feigned concern. His oversight seemed endless. This morning, multiple employees received compromising materials about him. Quite the predicament. Second uncle's grip tightened on his dragon-headed cane. New leaders faced turbulence. For decades, I fought alongside your father against schemers trying to divide our family. We mustn't let baseless accusations. I cut through his theatrics. Let's review Michael's contributions, failed African bids. Stock plunges rivaling Philippine dynamite fishing. R&D brain drain. Were it not for my damage control, would he still parade as GM? The old fox stammered. Michael blurted, "What qualifies you for the board?" Second uncle backhanded him. "Fool. Apologize to your cousin." I interjected coldly. "Truth will surface." "Now where's the bride?" "Ivy." "Lynn?" "Lynn." Robert trembled nearby, sweat-drenched. "Ivy," second uncle prompted. "Whatever. Let's eat." I turned to Michael. "Traditionally, I should gift newlyweds. But your bride insisted I save face. Consider this my wedding present." Ivy stood paralyzed nearby, complexion ashen. Michael mumbled frantic apologies. Mid-banquet, our eyes met. Her lips formed silent words. "John, I never meant." Too late. I mouthed before departing. Exiting, I passed plainclothes officers with military bearing entering the venue. Robert intercepted me outside. Former arrogance replaced by groveling. "Mr. Wilson, perhaps we could." Police commotion erupted behind us. I didn't look back. "Son-in-law, we were wrong before. You're busy with 1,000 responsibilities. Yet you still took the time to care for us at the hospital. We were blind to your worth." I stared down coldly at Robert. "You finally realize it's exhausting? I thought you only saw me as the Johnson's dog, something to summon and dismiss at will." Emily trembled, stammering, "And no, our Ivy is still young. If she ever offends you in the future, please be merciful. We're still family, right?" I nearly laughed. Family? Attending my ex-wife and brother's wedding already drained 18 lifetimes worth of courage. Should I announce? From now on, Ivy and I will address each other separately. She'll call me ex-husband. I'll call her sister-in-law. The mental gymnastics alone fried my brain. Stepping back, I snapped. "You've never treated me as family. I was just your cheap servant, a beggar you thought could be bought for a couple thousand a month. Remember what you said at the door? Your daughter and I are divorced. We owe each other nothing. Don't ever claim association with me again. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, we're strangers." They chased after me, pleading. "We shared a roof for 3 years. Must you be so heartless?" "John." My smile turned lethal. "Heartless? Last month, a manager dared test me. Now he's bankrupt. Jumped off a building chased by debt collectors. Want to see worse? Try crossing me." The color drained from Robert and Emily's faces. Ivy once called me easygoing, never guessing that easy targets bleed heavier when pierced. I walked away without another glance. From my car, I watched police escort Michael and his father for questioning. Ivy stumbled out in her wedding dress, ghost pale, as her parents berated her. I hit the gas. Michael's father took full blame, freeing him within days. But Ivy's marriage turned toxic. My cousin later told me Michael got caught with prostitutes during her pregnancy, 10 days in jail. The Wilson Group's board, long disgusted by his behavior, fired him. The stress triggered Ivy's premature labor, a frail son born, her own life hanging by a thread. Michael flirted with others within weeks. My cousin said, her dream marriage became a nightmare. Months later, I spotted Ivy at my office cafe. Gaunt, ashen, her makeup couldn't hide the ruin. En route to a young entrepreneur's summit, I ignored her until her daily visits forced a confrontation. She clutched my hand, voice raw. "John, I divorced Michael. He's just a bastard." I remained unmoved. I'd always known. His father had smuggled the illegitimate son into the family. But Michael's stepmother expelled him post-scandal, disowning Ivy too. A tear slid down her hollow cheek. I didn't soften. John and Ivy died long ago. The boy who'd have moved mountains at her smile was gone. He was my reckless teenage fantasy. She whispered, bright, wild, untamed. Being with him felt like escaping adulthood's harshness. I left her trembling there. Some fires burned too hot to revisit. I finally see clearly now. I was too foolish, drowning in the past. I thought everything could remain as it once was, that I could discard what I'd gained at will and easily reclaim what I'd lost. But this world operates on karma, where consequences never fail to arrive. Now, the reckoning has fallen upon me. I tried to pull back my hand, but she clutched it desperately, like a drowning traveler clinging to a floating plank. John, forgive me just this once. Okay, I'll stop being willful. I promise. She begged. Yet even with driftwood, where's the shore to return to in this vast ocean? Steeling myself, I pried her fingers loose one by one, each word a blade. No, Ivy, you're mistaken. This isn't about discovering love. You're terrified no one will ever love you like I did. No one will endure your domineering commands or weather your unwarranted fury. You don't need me. You're addicted to having someone orbit around you, someone to pamper and adore you. When that vanished, your ego couldn't bear it. Ivy had always ruled our marriage like a queen. How could she tolerate being dethroned? She forgot the foundation of any relationship, mutual respect and equality. As for nostalgia's rose-tinted lens, I wore it too, now shattered. Its shards left my heart bleeding. These scars have barely scabbed over. I won't reopen them. Ivy, let go. My gaze swept over her, frost-coating my words. Stop clinging like cheap adhesive. It's beneath you. Her eyes widened in shock. The cruelest phrases she'd once weaponized against me now returned intact. Finally, I understood how she could hurl such heartlessness. Hurting someone you don't love requires no effort. No need to consider their pain. No barrier to crushing their devotion. But I won't look back. Rising, my suit jacket sliced the air like a blade. My eyes fixed ahead. Forgetting isn't defeat. It's the first breath of rebirth. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more exciting stories. And drop your thoughts on this one in the comments. See you next time.